Good morning guys, and welcome to today's video. One of the most anticipated and often asked things on the channel is what is going on with my R32 sedan. I'm just gonna say it for like the 90th time ever. Basically broke a crank on the dyno, combination of a little bit too much tension on the alternator and a crank pulley that I've now learned is kind of problematic. Regardless, I will have the new engine within a week, so that got us motivated and excited to hop into the R32. You'll see right here, Sean put some work in, got this thing stripped down. I've told you guys that I wanted to repaint this whole car, and it was something I wanted to do, paint it a new color. A lot of you guys wanted me to leave it the same. Because the color and the livery and everything has kind of branded it. I've decided, I know that I'm gonna get super excited once we get the engine back. So for now, I just wanna repaint the bay, clean it up since the paint's got burned and scratched up to kind of refresh the car in its current state. And if I wanna paint it down the road, I'll revisit it then. Rennie's been coming here often lately and it's pretty easy for him to knock out, so I figured why not.
The paint's in pretty good shape, but as you guys know, this car's seen some wrench time, so there's definitely some nicks, some scratches, some things, maybe some holes that we'll end up filling. But the main thing is over here, we're gonna use a different clear that'll be a little more resistant to heat. And I'm gonna use some more DEI products since I didn't really before, and that should help with a lot of the yellowing and burning of the paint, and also the area where the turbo likes to smack. If you guys remember from one of my Long Beach vlogs, Joseph, who's a subscriber, has a page called Surreal Customs, did the craziest SR20 valve cover for me ever. So crazy that I decided it's basically just art and I don't have any car that is worthy of this valve cover. Very cool, interesting design, and I wanted to get him involved on another project, so I reached out to him with some ideas and concepts I had to do a valve cover for the JZX100. I told him I wanted it to be pearl white and have some kind of like ghost pearl pinstriping effects. I wanted it to be subtle, but I wanted it to be very detailed and kind of like show-esque, and this is what he came up with. Like I said, it's very subtle, but if you look underneath, you can see the lace work, the pinstriping, and the overall effect is seemingly just a white valve cover, but when you look up close, you can see all the crazy cool pinstriping details, and I love how it complements the bay. I did a silver kind of pearl to it just to kind of tie in with all the polish bits, but the overall final product of what this thing is looking like is so freaking cool. You guys can probably hear Johan in the back diving into welding the titanium exhaust already. Mike filmed a couple bits with him explaining some of the little nuances of that process, so I'm gonna let you guys see that footage now.
I wanted to be lucky and just use the S15 downpipe, but then we gotta make a downpipe for that car. I just said, screw it, let's just build everything from scratch on this car. I would have loved to use spike cuts, so I just used the J-pipe and made the downpipe you see mostly Madro bends. And on the top, it's transitioning from 3-inch to 4-inch.
Yep.
Just because of clearances, I like always, I don't know, to put my B-vents in a spot where it's not gonna drag on the floor and possibly rip the whole thing apart. And also, there's a good amount of clearance here. Got the pipe cuts already ready from Vibram. I know that I am gonna need a short run here of pipe, and then I marked on the chassis where it's gonna transition from the pipe cut to a straight pipe, and then from that point I don't know how much I need here. Marked it right there on the chassis, and then the next transition happens right here. Hopefully I could get a straight shot over here. I might have to angle it a little bit so it shoots in this area.
Yeah.
And then from here will be 245 to the exhaust. Luckily with the pipe cuts, you could clock it and it would then determine the transition or the angle or the direction the pipe is going to. So that's a good thing about the pipe cuts. We'll be using all the Vibram stuff. We have the 4-inch Vibram Muffler. I believe we were the first ones to run the 4-inch Vibram Muffler. They made us a custom one for the 34. We'll show you that, and then I will show you the plans that I have for the hanging using the stock hangers and stuff like that. Hopefully I could use all of them so that it's more of like a plug and play or less custom stuff, but we're talking about titanium, so everything is custom. we have the exhausts pretty much all tacked up. Before I take it down to get like the final cleaning, prepping, and welding, I want to kind of like make the hangers, come up with a hanger solution. I do plan to use the more, what is that, the urethane hangers?
Yeah, the poly.
Right, the polyurethanes ones, so that it's more sturdy. So we came off the downpipe all the way back 4-inch to a B-vent right here, angled it up from a 45 to the 4-inch Vibram muffler. On the bumper, I put this carbon board there so that when I build the hangers and I remove everything, there will be a space in between the bumper. That's it. I think on this muffler, we use one of the straps that Vibram supplies. It will make it easier to clock, and it's adjustable versus welding a rod straight to the muffler. But yeah, that's it. It's all ready, tacked up. It'll come off, and I'll pull it on the polisher to get this raw titanium finish off. And another thing is, I am gonna mock up the hangers for it, but I'm not going to weld them on the exhaust. I'm gonna wait into this after it's done welding, just in case there is any shrinkage or movement of the material, that I don't build my exhaust hangers and then they're kind of off because things moved around.
Michael.
Yeah.
Look at this setup right now. You look good.
Need the book.
This is what they got you doing down here, huh?
Yep. These welds are beautiful.
Dude, it's kind of boggling, and he's like banging through
Yeah.
them too. Full focus. Just autofocus.
Oh, I think it's on manual right now. There's a button on the side of the lens.
Oh, is there?
AF, MF. Switch it.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Jimmy's on the camera now?
Jimmy's on the
Beautiful.
camera now.
Ironically, I bought probably the most similar wheels you could ever imagine for this car. When you look at them, they look almost identical. And there's a story behind this. So these are actually the wheels I always wanted for my GT3 RS, just because they are like ridiculously light. I think they're 6 or 7 pounds lighter than stock. They're HRE's R101 lightweight. They're insanely expensive. The new price is something that would be really hard for me to justify, but these popped up used. The only condition about this is that they're not the right spec for this car. They're the right spec for the previous generation GT3 RS like I had. So I would have been stoked to buy these wheels and put them on my old car, but I traded it in. So I'm gonna test fit these. I know that the rear should be perfect. It's a little bit wider. This tire, I think, is another 10 mil wider, which is a good thing. I'm cool with that. But the front, the problem is it's actually 5 mil more sunk, and it could be a problem on this with the new suspension design. So I'm gonna test fit them, see what it looks like. But the game plan would be, if they do fit, I wanna powder coat them gray, because I'm not a big fan of black for this. It does look pretty similar.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is the rear looks like it fits.
Yeah.
So I love that. What if I just put the rears on?
You honestly really can't tell at all.
They're a little pokey, not gonna lie. We might need to dial back the tire size in the rear.
Just the tiniest bit. I mean,
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It might camber in a little bit. But it's always like, when you're fitting new wheels, you're like, it'll probably camber in a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so next up, I'll need to have you hop in the car, hold the brake and the steering wheel like last time so we can pull the fronts off.
Okay.
What do you think? What's your take here?
It's good. It fits better than I think we all thought.
Yeah.
Rubbing in the rear.
What do you think?
Maybe math is wrong. I was basically just going off what forums listed the wheel spec for this car, and we all know how forums are. That's pretty much how Jimmy learned all of his car knowledge.
Yeah. Look at that though. Brakes clear. Man.
Yep. Everything looks to have
Sunk.
decent room, decent travel.
Goodbye.
Yes, very good purchase. Do not get any of this on your fingers. You will ruin your clothes.
Hey, Mike.
For life. Adam.
How to ruin your day.
The worst part is you have it on your hands and you don't know about it,
Yep.
and then you just ruin all your clothes.
Actually, that's not Mike's hair color. That's just ADC's in his hair.
Yep.
As you guys pretty much already know from all my videos, one of the most exciting things for me and many other car people is hearing a car not only start for the first time, but a new exhaust setup is always crazy. And this Chaser is getting my favorite combo ever. 4-inch titanium, same thing that we did on the R34, with my signature 4-inch vibrant titanium muffler. Why is it signature? Because they didn't used to make a 4-inch muffler, and they specifically made one for the R34. Now it's a production unit, and we were able to get one. So this is a production unit of what they custom made me for my R34. And Johan put in work and got this thing done in like a day and a half, and it looks fantastic. It's so cool seeing him grow from when he started doing all the titanium on the R34 to now he's like blindfolded, like drinking a beer, playing thumb drift while he's welding. It's sick.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But yeah, this is the final product. It looks so good. Now, what was on this car before? Was it a 3 or a 3.5?
3.
Yeah. So 4, like, could be considered overkill for this. It's more important on the RBs because they like to rev really high and have a lot of exhaust volume. But I think knowing what we're probably going to end up doing with this car, 4-inch was just kind of the way to go. It's going to sound good, and we'll never have a restriction of exhaust flow. So look at this. Looks so good. You guys haven't heard the car start ever. I heard it start for like 10 seconds, but it was literally like open turbo, so it wasn't really a good justification of how it's going to sound, but I'm excited. Do you get a laptop with you?
Yeah, I do.
Just in case it's like running a little rich that I don't want to pull the fuel out or something.
We'll make it work.
It don't even fit. Nothing like a nice bowl of chicken noodle soup while you listen to your car start for the first time. I'll tell you what. It's flaming.
What?
Go up.
Go up?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to.
Always low key come to the neck. Like every time. It's always subtle shots.
Plática.
Yeah, there you go. He got it.
When you a little gas, you think she'll just start up?
Would you just listen to it?
It's got a pretty nice note. Yeah. It's deep. The true test is going to be like the volume cruise. Chicken noodle in my mouth. The volume cruising and like what it sounds like on the road and high RPM. I'm stoked though. I'm gonna give her a little res. I'm gonna let her warm up. So it has the same like little raspy like muffled pitch as the 34. You heard it?
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of the 1J a little bit. That setup.
It's the same muffler.
Yeah. That's my favorite muffler. Great muffler.
Signature LZ muffler.
That's crazy. It's got a punch, but it's not. It doesn't hurt your ears.
Doesn't sound typical 2J, that's why I like it.
It kind of sounds like a 1J, like a deeper 1J. Like someone took a 1J and just like.
Gave it like, yeah. They dropped, they finally dropped, yeah.
This is a pretty big moment. If you guys are new to the channel or you don't remember, basically what happened was the Brown Chaser blew up. It was relatively right before Drift Week, and the best, most economical option that we had was to just pull the engine, turbo setup, and everything out of this car and transfer all the parts over to the Brown car. Because of that, this car has been sitting without an engine for the entirety of 2021, a small portion of 2020, and the start of 2022. But today, as you guys are about to see in the end of this video, me and Mike are going to go shoot a little promo for the new bleach dyes, dropping at 3 p.m. today. Don't miss out. The car's about to move under its own power for the first time in over a year. And I'm excited.